the room, but we're looking at our computer and doing something, right? So, and there are different types of the brain that we have, and getting into a different kind of activity. Now, what happens is, as adult learning is extremely difficult. So what we have done is, the way the world is moving is, the world is moving towards digital world. It's moving towards technology. So therefore, to ensure that we are constantly learning and in a fun manner. If you look at a pilot, how many of us really meet a pilot? Hardly ever do, right? We just see them walking in and walking out. But do you know the kind of simulations or simulator that the person has put in hundreds and hundreds of hours to before he's certified to go and fly? So what I want to share with you is this gamification and simulation is changing the world of the L&OD space. So how is it changing? I would want each of the panelists to speak about, in their opinion, how is it changing? Harleen, over to you.
So thanks, Tanya. So before I talk about how is it changing the game, or how am I changing the game in the official environment or the corporate environment, let me give you two examples from my personal life. Rajiv talked about it. He touched upon that, actually saying, you have to first make it happen for yourself. And I'll give I'll just carry on that fitness example a little bit. I mean, who wants to go to the gym in the morning? I don't want to get up at 5:30. It's tough. And even if I sign up for the gym, it's still difficult to turn up. At some stage, you say, okay, I'm willing to let that money go. I can't just do it. And I knew that's not what I wanted. So I have created this entire, adrenaline rush for myself by joining multiple virtual games all over the world. What I mean is, now I have Runkeeper. Runkeeper is just an app which helps you run. I have signed up to run a marathon, and I'm going to Delhi next week to run the marathon, then the Mumbai Marathon. I run virtually with many people every Sunday. When I say virtually, I'm on this app. There are people running 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers across the world when I'm running. And obviously we see each other and we compete with each other, or there are batches and coins which come. And it kind of helps. It keeps me going. It drives me. Otherwise, I knew the same logic earlier also, that I must get up and I must eat well and I must sleep well, but it just wasn't really happening. So that's kind of motivating me. It is an intrinsic driver. The other example is that I'm a reviewer on TripAdvisor, also Zomato. And I review quite frequently. And I started doing that because, I thought it was a little unfair. All of us review or take a look at Zomato or TripAdvisor when we go and, book a hotel or go to any holiday place. But, somebody should be also putting the content back. So I started doing that, but now I get so much of kick out of it. TripAdvisor sends me a trigger saying, okay, you're level 4 now, you're level 5 now, 90% of Mumbai is now following you. Your review is getting hits, every second. I don't get paid for it. There is nothing in it for me. It's not my career. But it is driving me like crazy, and I get up extra 30 minutes in the morning or 20 minutes in the night just to go and do all of that stuff. So to my mind, this is purely gamification. I don't need to be playing games physically with people, but this is kind of helping me do the piece. And I will come to the examples in my company, but maybe perhaps you want to go around.
Yeah. So Rituraj, what does this topic mean for you, and how do you think it's set to change the context in the L&OD space?
Very interestingly, since you used the term about pilot, so it set me thinking about my last flight that I boarded. It was an Indigo flight from Jammu via Srinagar to Mumbai. And the pilot was Santosh Patil from Kolhapur. I don't know him, but I remember his name after you picked up on pilot example. This guy had given an excellent brief. He stood up in front like a typical Indigo flight crew, and he gave an introduction about the flight, what we're going to do. And the way he presented it was nice. So I played a small game there. I started clapping after he finished his script, and along with me quite a few others clapped. So I thought that is interesting. Normally I have not heard claps after the initial brief of a flight that is given by a crew member. This he did while we took off first from Jammu to Srinagar. Then he repeated the same again when we took off again from Srinagar to Mumbai. I chose to play this game again because now there was a little different crowd. I clapped a little louder this time, and more number of people clapped this time. Games can be rescoped. It is not only about technology, it's also about structured experiences that we actually put on display for people to respond to and to live through. So simulations also then become part of games, as we talk about in this title. And changes that are happening, we're getting benefited from technology over the years, at the same time getting a little preoccupied with technology at the cost of humanizing the outcome of this structured experience. Would love to talk more about it as we go ahead.
So Damodar, why technology? What do you think has changed overnight? So
I'm sitting next to the technology person.
Well, I think that's something I wanted to talk by default, but before the session becomes a little too heavy, I want to ask one question to audience. Who you think was a better learner, Ekalavya or Arjun? Those who think Arjun was a better learner, can you raise your hands? Few. Ekalavya? All the rest? Good. I think we are doing well. See, my answer is also Ekalavya, because I think Ekalavya was the first one who could figure out what is anytime when you are learning. Okay? So, think about this. And there is another one, anyone there also. When archery was known to be only the art of the prince and princely people, he said he wants to do archery. So he challenged the conventional wisdom and introduced anyone in learning process. And when he was denied the studentship of Dronacharya, he said, I'll just make a virtual guru, right? Virtual learning we talk about today. He introduced it in mythology. He was doing virtual learning. He got rid of his trainer so that he could learn anytime, anywhere. So I think a lot of this technology enabled learning has gotten us back to those days for which we are able to learn like Ekalavya used to learn. Okay. I'll give you, in the context of, apart from theory, in the context of the company I represent from in TCS, 375,000 associates in 50 different countries representing 120 nationals. Okay. We don't have Dronacharya in every places. Okay, so we have learners in every places, but we don't have Dronacharya in every place. So how do we make this single Dronacharya, who is sitting somewhere in New Zealand or Australia, available to all the learners in the world? That's what technology does for us. We have connected classrooms which can simulate the experience. I can use our iClass infrastructure and do 10 such conferences with very little loss of granularity or resolution. So that's what actually technology is doing, one angle. Little bit other angle I would say, why suddenly technology has become so relevant? Okay, technology existed even 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. When we talk about technology, let's stay focused on computer. Let's talk about computer alone. Technology can mean a lot of things. Now, I'll give you one example. Some of you who are about 50 years old, you can relate it to what I'm saying. My first job in HR was a very well-paying job. I earned 30,000 rupees. 30,000 rupees per year, not month. 30,000 rupees. The cost of a PC at least was 1 lakh rupees then. Okay. So, HR actually used to love technology more than people. Okay. They can buy 3 people for the cost of 1 PC annually. Okay, so people are coming in shifts to work on computer. Okay, these days it has become other way around. PCs have become 30,000 rupees. People have become 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, entry-level salary is 4 lakhs rupees. So I can buy a PC. A graduate from school can buy a PC with 1 month of salary. Okay, so HR is waking up to say that people are become more valuable than technology. Technology has become commodity. So more we put technology into usage, it's going to give better return for the company. Okay, so that's the practical angle for which technology has suddenly become more important. Okay, now with this context, I can go back and tell you put 5 age or 6 age or 7 age Technology can justify everything. Technology, an online digital platform, make content available anytime. Connected classrooms, make workplaces anywhere. Okay? Content similar, multiple sources you can learn from YouTube, you can learn from Google, you can learn from Coursera, you can learn from your instructor who is in front of you. So any content, right? Anybody I told how, you don't have to be a banking expert all the time from college to work in banking industry. I'm from aerospace industry, I'm heading now learning and development. It's because I have actually used technology to upskill myself. So technology is the best way to upskill yourself. So that's what is my take on technology. And
So, okay. So, I think the topic is extremely relevant. Why? Because if you look at the way they say it's a VUCA world, and it is every country, every corporate is looking at how can it digitize its process. If you look at how did Narendra Modi really win? He was really a chief minister in a state which he was reputed, but obviously he used the mass media as well as digital, empowerment for his party and ensured that he won. I mean, we were all looking at whether it was Hillary or Donald Trump, and how do you think that was possible? It was because, today digital is the thing, and if we don't embrace it, we're going to be a dinosaur. So therefore, in setting the context, every corporate today is looking at a lot of stuff which they are doing. And what happens is it's only forums like this that we really get to understand what is it that people are doing. How do I ensure that I'm able to learn and upskill? So, Harleena, what is IDFC doing? Would you like to speak about some of the initiatives that you're doing?
Yes, happy to. And I'll give you 2 or 3 examples of the stuff we're doing around technology, stroke, gamification, simulation. Before I do that, there are 2 or 3 design principles of learning that we have. We have several, but I just want to start by talking about 2 or 3. I'll just mention them so you get the context. Number 1 design principle is that we want everything that we do in the learning and development phase in terms of content. We want to be where the learner is. Where do you think the learner already is? We've been calling people to either classroom so far, or we've been telling them, here is the LMS and here is the content. But we've dramatically changed the way we work. We said we want to be where people already are. So where are people already, you think? Absolutely. So people are on their mobiles. People are already there. I don't have to call. What I have to do is, through my content strategy, through my delivery strategy, make sure that the learning is there on the content. Then this entire non-value adding work that we've been doing for years of calling people to the classroom, then sending dashboards saying so many people are not coming, booking training rooms, all of that logistics goes away. All my content is where people already are. That is one design principle we have. The second is pull versus push. And we talked of some examples. So Candy Crush is pull. People are themselves going there and pulling the learnings, the gamification, the experiences. There is no concept of push we have any longer, saying push this and you must do that, do this unless, I won't give you the certificate otherwise. So pull versus push. So how do I create pull in my learning strategy? The gamification and the game dynamics is the simplest tool that I use. People themselves come. As a simple example, every quarter our CEO gives a town hall. Every company has CEO giving a town hall. When the CEO is talking of financial numbers, strategy of the company, so on and so forth, within 24 hours people forget. Also, it's lots of numbers. Now for a serious thing like a CEO giving a town hall, we have a little game. The moment he finishes the town hall, people go to their mobiles or their computers. There is this pirate and chest of treasure game that is there. So you answer one question correctly around whatever the CEO has said, and you unlock a lot of gold coins. You answer the next question, and you win this pot of gold. Very simple gamification tool. And believe me, from an entry-level employee to a senior leader, love doing stuff like that. So the second thing is get a pull going in our strategy. So that's our design principle number 2. And the third one is, optimize ideal time. What does again that really mean? Many times as learning professionals, we come across this challenge that people cannot be released for trainings. or there is no time, or there is a month end pressure, or there is a quarter end pressure. So what do? We're saying, all right,